Ain't no way. Hey, yo, Breezy just dropped another video. So you know what time it is, King? Yeah.
Welcome to
That
Obsidian
took a
Entertainment.
fucking
Here at
turn,
the
bro.
studio, we've joked around that this has been the year of Obsidian, with Avowed releasing early this year and now ending the year with 2 more games.
God,
What
is
better
getting
way
out
to
of
cap this
control.
incredible year for us
So
than by doing
different.
what
It
our
looks.
studio does best.
It looks
Sequels.
interesting.
That's where I come in. You can get out of here, Fergus. Thank you so much. No, you're doing great. You nailed it. The sequel is the lifeblood of every great franchise. Think about it. The original creates the world and builds fandom, but the sequel, that's what makes it worth remembering. No sequel, no hoverboard. No sequel, no dual SMGs. No sequel, no raccoon tail. No sequel, no Zune 2. Which doesn't really exist, but I wish it had.
There was a Zune 2.
There was? There was a Zune 2? Unlike the head of sequels here at Obsidian, and I have sequelized everything. Blockbuster movies to AAA video games to my first marriage, so trust me, I know what I'm doing. Come along on this journey with me. Part 2.
The head of
Let the killing commence.
Why is Sonic talking? Was that Sonic actually?
The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1. It's a
What up,
continuation
Zello?
of the themes of robber barons in
That's the guy who
space,
voices
and
Sonic. Oh,
how
really?
people are
Okay.
controlled by the stories they're told by the people who have power over them. This time we're able to go a lot deeper because we have more time and money, which is a great thing, and we're able to make it a much more true Obsidian reactive RPG than we were the first time around.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I liked the first one, but it was very short.
So we're going deeper and more complex with everything for this sequel. Deeper story, lore, RPG interactions, reactivity, all the things we've been known for as a company. It's really a complete realization of everything people want from an Obsidian game. Surprisingly, this is the first time in over 25 years that I've had the chance to do a
pretty
full
good. How are
sequel
you?
for a world that I helped co-create. It's really just a fantastic opportunity to explore and expand the universe in interesting ways, and to go even further with the themes of how people are affected by living in a dystopian corporate reality.
You can shoot your way through it, you can talk your way through it, you can sneak your way through it. And so no matter what kind of play style that you like, this is just an awesome franchise and an awesome game to jump into,
Hey, W,
even if
good
it's your
shit,
first
good
one.
shit. We
The
like
first
to
Outer
hear.
Worlds was
On
a great
Sunday,
base
too?
to start from, as it has all the
prime
elements of a
cleaning
great
day.
Obsidian RPG. Interesting characters, deep worlds, important choices. In the Outer Worlds 2, not only did we want to double down on those elements, but we wanted to give players even more of it.
We've also put a lot of investment into skills and traits that impact things like combat, conversations, and areas that we call RPG interactions, which are the part of the world where players can use their specific skills, perks, and backgrounds to solve problems in unique ways in our new, bigger worlds.
I love a deep RPG experience, and building out that RPG crunchiness for our players was at the forefront of what we set out to create. We prioritize those deeper RPG options with different character builds and combos so players can express their role-playing power fantasies. We also have different equipment options for different playstyles and different companions with different abilities.
What game is this? Outer Wire. Outer. Wow.
In the first Outer Worlds, you
Worlds
start off as the
2.
Stranger, which was basically a blank slate to build on top of with various attribute points that would begin to define your personal experience in the game. You can make any kind of character you want, but we've given you a role. That role is an Earth Directorate agent. You can think of them as kind of like space cowboys or space sky marshals. They're the good guys that go into places and kind of fix everything that's wrong. You're gonna be one of those. But we don't tell you why you joined the Art Director. There could have been a lot of different reasons, right? It could have been because you're an actual lawbringer and you want to go in there and spread law throughout the galaxy. It could be that you're a roustabout and you just had nothing better to do. After you pick your background, one of the really important choices you have next is choosing your traits. While we had attributes in the first Outer Worlds, we've leaned into traits for the Outer Worlds too, which are these big changes to your character depending on which ones you pick. So it could be something like Brilliant, where you can tag extra skills and you start getting extra skill points. And that's obviously really great if that's how you want to build your character. You can also go and do something like Lucky, where you get extra critical chance, and you also get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back
certain
dumb,
opportunities
so
are just
the players
accessible
love
to
the
you.
dumb option.
Tell me, do you believe in signs?
You mean the one that says trespassing and no
Not
entry?
Quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could put your adventure spirit to good use.
You get like lots of really cool, fun conversation options in the game, but we took that even further. And again, there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb and use that for something. Could be something as simple as banging on a machine to get it to work.
That's fucking great.
After you've
I love
invested in
that.
some of your traits, your next choices are going to be choosing your skills. The skills themselves
Work.
basically allow you to build on your playstyle and what your character is doing in the game. That will be everything from playing stealthily to speccing for an explosive specialty. Throughout your entire journey, your character continues to change with the different choices you make. In the Outer Worlds 1, actually had more skills than we have, so we condensed them down to really the core and essence of what we really wanted there. But we made each point that you put into a skill much more impactful. So instead of getting small percentage changes, we actually did much larger changes per point that you put into each
I
skill.
mean,
And
COD
again,
is
all these things,
expanding,
because
so
of how they're checked
other
inside
shooters
the
are
world itself,
expanding now,
can matter
so, I
quite a
mean,
bit.
can't-
You know, just even having one additional skill point in something can open up a lot more options in the world itself. If anybody's played Fallout New Vegas, they'll be very familiar with like the perk system. We basically borrowed that, but went even grander. We actually have more perks than Fallout New Vegas did. But here's the cool thing, right? We check and use perks for literally everything, right? So you can do everything from, hey, I want to make a stealthy build that steals stuff and is really good at that. Okay, great. Well, you can take maybe the pickpocketing perk. So that's not available to everybody, but if you select that, now you can actually go around and steal things out of people's pockets. There's another perk called heavy-handed, right? Where say you're a melee person, what this does is now your power attacks that you use actually knock people down.
Oh man, I really like the serial killer perk. As you start killing people, they will drop hearts. And you can take those hearts, and essentially you're taking these trophies, you could say, and it's actually giving you a permanent health bonus every time you do it.
Oh.
We have this perk called Assassin. Now, this is an early game perk that you can take, which every time you stealth attack an enemy, you're actually gonna get a movement bonus for a certain amount of time.
Right in the cheeks. Not the dick.
Flaws were a system that everybody loved from the first game, but we wanted to make it more personal to the player. We wanted it to really reflect how you were playing the game and give you a bonus that you actually wanted to really engage with.
With the flaw system returning, we knew we needed to go bigger, better, and more real than ever before. So, we turned to the team. I told them, no bad ideas. Give me what you got. Okay, we need more flaws. We need them to be real. I want to put them in the game, so give me something. Inspiration. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I have bad knees.
You have bad knees? They hurt when you walk a lot?
Yes.
When you walk too much, they hurt?
No cartilage.
Sounds boring. Makes you sound like a boring person, but it's in the game. It's a good flaw. What about you?
I like to take small things sometimes.
So you're stealing?
See a klepto.
No, I'm taking.
When do you give them back?
I don't.
Claire. Claire, you shouldn't be stealing. What are you doing? You shouldn't be stealing, Claire.
Tiny crimes.
Tiny crimes? Do you hear the second part, though? It's a crime.
Well,
You're stealing. Claire, that's wrong. You can't steal things, okay?
But it's in the
It's an
game.
amazing flaw, and I'm putting it in the game. But you're a bad person. And are you the one that took my stapler?
do you need it?
Yeah. Give it back,
Okay.
please. You, what do we got? Flaw.
I like to stare at the sun.
How long did you stare at the sun?
Just lunch break.
An hour?
Oh, I only get 30. You guys get an hour?
I get an hour.
I get an hour.
Oh. Makes me feel energized.
How many fingers am I holding up?
It makes me feel
Anything else?
energized.
We'll put it in the game. We'll put it in the game because I feel bad for you. Anything else?
One of my favorite flaws is something called bad knees. It will actually give you the option to take this flaw that'll make it so that you move faster throughout the game. But the problem is, anytime you stand up, your knees are going to make a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to hear you.
There's one called
Ain't
Kleptomania.
no way.
This is really interesting because what it does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Yeah, I'm legit crying. There's no fucking way. Oh shit, bro. Yo. I can't. I fucking can't. Oh fuck. If you stand up, everyone in the room is gonna hear your knees pop. Oh fuck. Oh shit, bro. Oh, 10 out of 10. This game of the year, bro. 100%. Hands down. Game of the year. A game I can resonate with. Oh fuck. Oh my god, bro.
I'm stand up.
I'm legit
your knees
in
are gonna make
tears.
a loud popping noise that makes it so that, well, everyone around you is going to hear you.
There's one called Kleptomaniac. This is really interesting because what it does is when you steal something, you can actually sell it for more bits than normal. And that sounds really great. The drawback is sometimes when you're looking at things in the world that are owned by somebody else, you'll automatically steal them. So you have to be very careful about how you use them.
One of our more wacky perks is the Sun Gazer Flaw, and it just gives everyone cataracts while playing their game. So everything becomes like light shafts and blooms and hazes, and it makes the game pretty unplayable if you happen to choose that perk.
Oh my
if you happen to
god.
be the type of player that habitually reloads your weapons like I do,
You're just gonna take shit if you look at it.
Now, you'll get larger magazine sizes on all of your weapons, but if you ever fully empty your magazine, you're gonna take a debuff for a while. While we support options like being a gunslinger,
10 out of 10 game of the fucking year, bro.
Or a rogue who wants to alpha strike their enemies before they know what hit them.
Oh fuck, bro,
also
that
allow
got
for
me.
a lot of fun and experimental
Oh
builds.
fuck, that got me.
You can be a
that
mad
got me
scientist who utilizes gadgets and wacky science weapons and armors. Or even a psychopath who gains permanent bonuses to help by murdering his friends.
Nothing shows the impact of these character build options better than, in my
bro.
opinion,
What
the
up,
bridge
what up?
area, which has a quest you get early on in Paradise Island.
Bro, that shit got me. It broke me. I wasn't ready for that.
Not only do you kind of encounter this very early, it's a very core into the story, but it really expresses our philosophy of
Homie
allowing
stood
the
up
players to
and
solve
said,
problems in a
"Wait a
bunch
minute."
of ways. So you may solve it by
fuck, that was funny.
speech options. You may talk to them and maybe have to go do a quest.
That
for
was
them
laugh of
and
the
really
month,
kind
bro.
of
I
prove
haven't
that you're
laughed
a
like that
friend
in
of the
so
protectorate to get
fucking
by.
long.
I may have need of your help.
I'm picking that perk 100%.
You are ready to seize an opportunity to show fealty to the protector.
Oh fuck.
You could go guns blazing, and you could just take everyone out inside the POI, lower the bridge itself, and kind of get across.
Oh, bro, that shit broke me, dog. I was legit
Sneak
crying.
in,
I
lower the
haven't
bridge,
cried
and
laughing
actually
a
sneak in
minute.
under the bridge to get over to the other side.
Oh man. Don't have bad knees. They gonna hear you. How you an assassin and you got bad knees?
You can
Oh,
bypass the bridge entirely
fuck.
if you found like certain gadgets, like the shield gadget that protects you from poison gas as you go across, or the double jump boots, which kind of allow you to jump across the chasm and get across that way.
Oh man.
There's even
Oh,
a
I
really
missed the
kind of
key
messed up way,
session.
right?
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is players
You
can
missed
actually
the
sacrifice one of their
PvP
companions. The
turn
companion who they just found is part of.
We're no different than the Breeze if we start tossing our own to the raps. I sure as law ain't gonna follow someone who can't see the wrong in it.
I must admit, I'm surprised we could come to an understanding. But I thank you for your loyalty, stranger. As promised, you shall have clearance to cross this bridge.
Oh, fuck.
It's
You
such
missed
a
it,
fun
Tay.
quest, but again, it really showcases that we want you to be able to solve this in whatever way you want to. When you build your character your way, we're there for you.
I'm making
we
that
really
a
want
clip,
you to have
bro.
the
That has to
experience
be a
that you want to
clip.
have out of this.
Holy shit. That
From the
broke
very
me.
beginning of our discussions about the Outer Worlds, we really knew we wanted every game to take place in a different colony. This lets us expand on all aspects
No,
of
I
the
didn't
universe.
lose my-
Every
did you
colony
not
can be its
see
own
what
thing
you
with
can
its
do in this
own
game?
flavor, and we can center them around anything we want. Any ideas or setting we're interested in. Arcadia is an isolated colony with abundant resources.
Oh,
and it's
that was
run by an
laughing today.
authoritarian faction called the Protectorate. Their dictatorship is thematically based around the question of how much freedom people will give up for security and luxury. For Protectorate subjects, unfortunately, that answer is everything. The Protectorate is also incredibly wealthy because it was founded by the inventor of the skip drives, which are the Outer World's faster-than-light engines.
I was paying
But
attention
those
to my
skip drives
game.
are starting to cause rifts
I'll
in
rewind it
space-time,
back so
which
you
are
can
cutting
see it,
off all
Devin.
the other colonies on Earth from being able to trade with each other.
After this is over.
The Order of the Ascendant is an offshoot of the Order of Scientific Inquiry from the original game, and like them are a science-based religion with the same goal of solving the universal equation, which will allow them to predict and alter the future to the benefit of
I
all
can't
mankind.
stop thinking about that.
They used to be
Thank
part
you.
of the
I was,
Protectorate, but
Elo,
they
thank
split
you.
off to focus on solving the equation for the good of everyone.
That was fucking,
not as a way
I
to
was
simply
laughing
control
a
the
month,
masses.
bro. I haven't laughed like that in so long.
The player's been sent to Arcadia as an Earth Directorate agent to find out how the skip drives are causing the rifts and what can be done to stop them. Each of the factions have their own solutions to the rift problem and their own goals. The Protectorate wants to close them to protect their legacy as the inventor of the drives and their wealth. The Order wants to close them not only for the good of everyone, but also because they're complicating the math they're using to solve the universal equation. And Antes just wants to be able to open and close them at will to control all the trade routes between the colonies. In addition to expanding the themes and lore of the Outer Worlds, we're also expanding the humor, so each faction has its own flavor of absurdity. Anti's Choice is a merger between Anti-Cleo and Spacer's Choice from the original game, and there are corporate representatives in the Outer Worlds too. They've invaded Arcadia to liberate their resources for all of humanity, at a profit, of course.
One of my favorite things from Fallout New Vegas is the radio system. It was just iconic for me, and I wanted to make sure that the Outer Worlds 2 had that. So we actually built out 3 different radio stations, one for each of the major factions. You also have a ton of music. Each station might have, like, I think 20 tracks of unique music that we've made for it. It's a lot of stuff. But the really cool part about this entire thing is that we actually put a lot of reactivity into the radio. So it will respond to the things that are going on around the world that you've been interacting with. So if you go into a location, let's say you solve a problem for the Protectorate folks, if you listen to the Protectorate radio station, they're gonna be cheering you on as a hero.
Wonderful news, everyone. The Zeranium gas leaks at the Automech repair facility, strongly believed to be caused by Anti's Choice malefactors, have been corrected.
Some hotshot for hire just managed to fix the electrum leak in their repair facility. Now, I'm not saying we caused it in the first place, but we sure like the idea of all those broken auto mechanicals and all the excessive
Seems like this game is
gassing
going to
and
be a
guilty
banger. 100%. I can't wait to play
Factions
this.
and
I love
companions
the
are
first
great
game. It was
examples of
just
how we're going
very
deeper
short.
and more complex this time around. They're integrated into the game's storyline much more than we did on the first
This is
Outer
like
Worlds.
BioShock.
And like with everything else in the game, they have a lot more reactivity. There are 6 companions in
necessarily.
the Outer
I can
Worlds
see what
too.
you're saying.
As usual, each has their own quest lines.
I'll compare it
but
more
this
to
time they are
Fallout,
also
personally.
connected to a different faction and have character arcs that the player can affect through their choices. Your first companion is Niles. He's another Earth Directorate agent like you, and he's looking for your help to decide whether he wants to become an even better agent or to turn his back on the Earth Directorate completely. There's also a somewhat cute automech support drone that is basically Niles' helper. Her name is Val. Marisol's part of the Order of the Ascendant, and she's an aging but still deadly assassin. That's right, she's a deadly mathematician who may or may not have some unfinished business to attend to with the player's help. There's also a cultist named Azza, who is part of a sub-faction that worships the Rifts, and in her case, violence in general. You can choose to either turn her away from overt violence or support her chaotic and dangerous tendencies. At one time, Auntie's Choice had a program to graft soldiers with animal parts to make them more formidable. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work and most of them are now dead. There's a combat medic who survived, however, named Inez, and she wants the player to help her fix her graft, among other things. Finally, there's Tristan. He's a protected arbiter who is judge, jury, and executioner all rolled into one heavily armored package. It is your choice to either help him judge wrongdoers or show him what true justice looks like.
We definitely have reactivity in the game based on how you've been treating your companions. I won't reveal the end of the game, but let's say if you have not been treating them well, you will find out at the end of the game what that means.
Companions are a very, very important part of merchandising because that's the real beauty of the sequel. We're talking merch, baby.
Okay,
it is the
I hear it
lifeblood.
now.
It is what
Right,
fuels
Tim.
us. Do you want to see some of my ideas? Hop, hop. Check this out. Gen Alpha loves body pillows, especially ones that look like human beings for some reason, right? Who needs a significant other when you could have a knife-wielding space psycho up in your sheets, huh? What do they do with them when they get them, huh? Maybe a little napping, maybe a little snuggling, maybe a little... Nah.
That sounds
The visuals
sad.
of the first Outer Worlds depicted a
Why
frontier
is Sonic
colony in space.
promoting a game?
The Outer Worlds 2 is driven by
And
an
why
invasion
am I
of the Arcadia
intrigued?
colony system by Auntie's Choice, which shifts the visuals to be more reminiscent of a World War I-like setting in space. That evolution is seen across all aspects of the game, starting with the factions. How do you militarize everything, including extreme capitalists or math-crazed scientists? In a World War I setting, war comes with propaganda. The Sovereign uses it to maintain control, Auntie's Choice uses it to help their bottom line, the Order just wants to show how it exists within the grand plan. We want players to feel like Arcadia is a living, breathing place scarred by a long-standing war. Fairfield, one of the first towns you encounter, was once under protectorate control, but has recently been taken over by Auntie's Choice. They don't just occupy the town, they rebrand it with their signature style, repainting buildings, posting guards, and adding propaganda-based holograms featuring Auntie and the Moon Man. Showing the towns evolving after the invasion helps us push immersion for our players. One of our priorities in visually realizing the world of the Outer Worlds 2 was making sure everything is clear and recognizable from the player standpoint. We want to make sure each faction has a particular look and design. So when the player is running across these vast, different environments and landscapes, they're recognizing the motifs
so
and
excited for
visuals
this.
of who they're talking to, what they're going to be talking about, and how that progresses throughout the story. The first Outer Worlds was really about player interfacing with corporations. And while we have that in the Outer Worlds 2, we really want to express not just the corporations, but how the player interacts with other facets of the world, like government entities or religious structures. And then we elaborate on those.
With larger environments, we wanted to encourage exploration by improving player mobility across the board. Now you can run, slide, double jump, mantle, and parkour your way through all of the nooks and
Parkour.
crannies of these worlds. It really allows the player to just explore and have fun finding really cool stuff.
We've aimed to make everything in the Outer Worlds 2 better from top to bottom. The RPG elements were the start, but that's touched our story, our art, and especially our gameplay.
Moon Man.
A good sequel is true to the original. That's first and foremost, right? Like, we all want to add in a bunch of things as you're making a sequel, right? We want to make it bigger and better in every way. That's what we were trying to do here. And I thought we did not need this consultant. We've made enough sequels. We understand how to do this.
Oh, did you
And I
ask
will
what the
say,
name was? I'm sorry,
I don't
GDP.
think it's been entirely successful.
I am very proud of the combat improvements we have made in the Outer Worlds 2, thanks to my patented combat system. You may be thinking to yourself, it can't be that good. Shush, what are you even talking about? You haven't seen it yet. Watch this. Put a helmet on, because I'm about to blow all of your minds with my COMBAT system, combat system. My name is Mark, I'm the head of sequels. Shall we begin? You're thinking, what's C for? C, capitalize the fact that the people loved the first game. We're gonna take those people, we're gonna make them buy the sequel, giving out pounds, pounds, pounds. Quick ones, ha, ha, not you, Dev. Here we go. What comes after C? O. Optimize for player satisfaction. I am terrified of online gamers, okay? I wanna make them happy. So let's, okay? All right. Mobilize the players so they're ready for that sweet, sweet pre-order. Clap with me. Sweet, sweet. If you don't have rhythm, Brandon, just say it. Sweet, sweet pre-order. Everybody has a different rhythm, and it's blowing mine. And here we go. B, burglarize. What is this? It's basically just finding new ways to loot dead bodies. You know what I mean? Right, Otis? Okay, well, it's a big part of the game. A, you gotta agonize about how many people are gonna be angry that we have just put so much combat into this thing and almost no romance at all. We should look at ourselves. What is wrong with us, huh? We can't have one love story in this? How many people have been in love? Raise your hands. Raise your hand if you're in love. Okay, are you lying?
I have a wife.
Put your hand down. T, trois. In French, that means two, sequel.
I think that means 3.
Okay, you're getting ahead of yourself. Come on, Claire. We're on 2. And how do we end it? Anything is possible. And we've established that we're the best there is, and there's no sequel better than us. And if I could just say one more thing, thank you very much. I know I've kind of changed the world of video games today.
For The Outer Worlds 2, we wanted to improve gunplay in every way. We focused on improving the feel of each weapon.
Can he be
the
my
way a weapon
boss?
snaps into ADS, the way recoil feels when firing, and how impactful our sound effects really sell the weapon's fantasy, to things like how unique reload animation can add a lot of character to each weapon. We've increased the variety of weapons by including new weapon types, but also through
Is
a
it on
host
Game
of
Pass?
fun
I'm pretty
unique
sure it will
weaponry.
be, yeah.
We have things like the Borscht Blaster that fires out tumors that can explode like grenades, or can even be eaten by the player for additional health.
What?
We have a weapon called Rookie's Reward that will actually level up the more you use it throughout the game. And every time it levels up, it's got fun fanfare where it's like shooting out confetti and it's got a fun little setup. We have a really fun weapon called the pop-up gun. It fires out ad drones that will distract your enemies with corporate ads, slogans,
That's
and jingles.
crazy.
While your enemies are distracted, you can focus fire on them or explode these drones for additional damage. New to The Outer Worlds 2 are throwables. So you can use frag grenades to flush out enemies, smoke grenades to camouflage and escape, distraction devices to bait enemies into a stealth attack, and even science grenades that will levitate enemies, allowing you to fire upon them while they float helplessly.
Yeah, science.
And of course, science weapons are back. We have returning favorites, like the Shrink Ray. This time it's been upgraded so you can shrink your enemy down to the size of a sprat and run over them, exploding them into bits.
Bro, popping him with a shotgun when he that small is crazy.
That was probably my favorite one from the first game, so we brought it into the second game, but we improved it though. So instead of shrinking your enemies for a short period of time and having them re-expand, this time they stay shrunk, and we actually added in the ability to step on them and kind of squish them and kick them, because we knew that that was the player fantasy. We knew that's what everybody wanted to do. They wanted to step on the enemies, they wanted to kick them. So we made sure to double down on that stuff.
In addition to things like our returning favorites, we also have some really fun and unique new science weapons. One of them is called the Armageddon. This one's really cool because it actually shoots out these masses that are like these little arms that will stick to people or cover or all kinds of different things, and they will continue to just hit them until they get destroyed. And we have another one that's just super cool called the Spectrum Dance Saber. This is a melee weapon that actually lets you attack to a musical beat. And if you continue to do that, you'll actually get additional bonuses each hit you do. One of my personal favorite weapons is called the Big Bang. It's just a big freaking gun that uses material harvested from rifts to shoot out a giant ball of energy.
Oh my
replacing
God.
everything in its path. Now, ammo's extremely rare for this weapon, but you can use it in just the right situation to devastating effects.
Like another great one is Gary. If you wear Gary, he will lash out at your opponents as you're walking through combat. So we even have science armors, and we've really kind of shown off what we thought was really great for the player from a science perspective.
We're all about letting people play the game their way. There's some players who prefer to be immersed in a first-person view, taking in all of the details. But there are others who really prefer to take the world in from a third-person perspective. Why not allow both? Well, now you can swap between the two, letting you enjoy the experience in whatever way you like. One of the things I really like about having the third-person mode is being able to see all of the fun and unique armors and armor combinations and weapons that you can equip your player with. All of the actions that you could do in first person, so you're double jumping around, you get to see your character in that way, and you get to take in the world and see things in a different light.
The Outer Worlds 2 is really the biggest game we've ever made. Bigger choices,
I'm so
more
excited for this.
reactivity, more weapons, more things to find in each of the worlds the players can visit. The team has done incredible work bringing the Outer Worlds 2 to life.
Question, can you customize the ads?
And we
That
can't
is a
wait for
good
you
question.
to play it.
Even though we've always been a multi-project studio, this is going to be the first time we've ever released 3 games in 1 year. It
Yeah, that's
feels
fucking
amazing
crazy.
to do. We're so excited for more people to be playing our games. It is truly an exciting time here at Obsidian.
That's
We're exploring worlds
insane.
big and small while expanding on franchises that we've created, and we have no plans to slow down. We hope you all continue to come along with us as we do what we do best, make your worlds your way.
With the Outer
good.
Worlds 2, we're all about the
Oh,
best
gonna show
place to
Grounded
play,
2?
which is
Damn, okay.
also the promise of Xbox. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it may be hard to play it when you're staring at all these beautiful holes. Let's cut that. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox. Oh yeah, now that's Microsoft. Or you can take a phone call on this Xbox, then play the Outer Worlds 2 right after. Excuse me, I'm getting a call. Hello? What am I doing? I'm playing the Outer Worlds. Hello? Yeah, this is Mark. I didn't know I had jury duty today. You can play the Outer Worlds 2 on this Xbox, but it takes 2 people to lug around safely. We're gonna go up to my apartment, okay? And this is an Xbox you actually wear that also plays the Outer Worlds 2. What do you think, Claire?
This is amazing.
Are you playing?
I think so.
Fantastic. So now this is actually not an Xbox, so you cannot play the Outer Worlds 2 on it. Can't play anything on this. I guess Bread. You ever play Bread where you take it out of one slot, put it in the other? I don't have friends. If you pre-order the premium edition now, you'll get early access, which is like a prequel to the sequel, or is launch the sequel to the pre-order, or like, why are any of us alive at any time? It doesn't matter. Either way, my job here is done. It's time for the Grounded 2 portion of the Direct, which is sort of like the sequel to the Outer Worlds 2 portion of the Direct, which I absolutely just hit a home run with. You know, it's really nice to see my influence go on to other games. Take it away, team.
Bro. They making something to stand out.
And big exit.